Hey y'all, this is us, the GDL Commissioners. Of course, mine is Dr. Mutor Flood, who graciously stepped in at the last minute to debate for us tonight. We are your GDL Commissioners. My name is Ebony Johnson. Tonight's moderator, Dr. Bruce Strobel, and Professor AJ Lowe. Excited to have our first debate of season 2 of 2021. Even with the last minute changes, I thought the gentlemen had a really robust discussion. And so I'm glad that we were able to have it tonight.
Right.
Dr. Flood, what was your take while you were moderating?
Oh, Dr. Strobel, yeah.
Strobel, sorry, I'm thinking of Mutor.
No, okay, so I was worried about, coming into a debate last minute like Mutual Flood did. I was worried about his ability to perform, but I know he had been looking at this subject for some time and had interest in it. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, he is an expert, but just getting ready to go in. And I thought he came in with a very good argument. It was very scientific in his approach. Mm-hmm. And I thought that ultimately that might have got him into some trouble, that it relied too much. Mm-hmm. And not that you could ever be too much on science, but when you talk about Black people and you were keeping the context, that history that people have always used junk science to make negative claims about Black people's abilities, that's where he started to get a little, and I was looking at the comments and people were starting to say, oh, I reject this. So I thought for persuasiveness, that scientific, you have to make it relate sometimes. And just to say, y'all scared because this study says so, and people are like, well, I'm not scared. And everyone, I thought Mr. Deskins really chopped at that. So, being in there, but what I will say, it was a pleasant interaction. They were both respectful. They shared the time well. They followed the rules. So we got a really meaningful debate. You got to hear both sides very thoroughly.
Yeah. And especially this is Solani's first time debating. And he really did follow with a good flow, including in the lightning round. He was able to flow pretty well. Professor AJ, what do you have to say?
I number one appreciate the fill-in because it was an unexpected situation. I do appreciate the lightning round. I think that, like Bruce said, that he was able to flip Mutor's argument upside down. He reversed it, and then even in his closing argument, he was able to come back and pretty much do what he needed to do as far as the closing argument. I definitely give the third round to Mr. Deskin.
It's similar to what you said, Bruce. I feel as though they were really coming at it from two different perspectives of how and that's something that Talani said during, I think, the lightning round or at one point in the debate, that, well, another person can always say, well, this is the way that I see it. And so if I look at this data, if I look at in a historical context, if I look at it from a psychological perspective, this is what I see. But then on the other hand, Talani is saying, well, I do see a people that's organized. I do see a people that, he was just saying his different perspective of how he sees us moving and operating versus Mutor's field of study. Though I did put up where, for people who may not be aware, this is Mutor, so I'm sure that he said that wasn't my argument, Bruce.
Fair enough. I wasn't necessarily quoting his argument. I was just saying how it came across. And of course, he's operating on. He got this debate assigned to him today. So, like I said, he did a great job. There's no winner. There's not even a winner or loser here in this one.
Yeah.
And you did a good job. If you presented a well-defined premise and you presented evidence to support your premise. Now, I think where if I had to choose, where I would say Mandela was stronger and it was really came across in the final round, was that he was able to dismiss it. If we look at defense, he was able to come up with a credible approach to say, I hear what you're saying, but that all that is attached to the same theme of people using this kind of argument to put Black people down in all sorts of reasons. They say Black people can't learn because of epigenetics, right? Mm-hmm. So they say Black people can't learn because we're genetically inferior. This is a long-standing argument. And he made that, when you start saying like Black people have it was a critical point where he got asked a question about whites and their fear. And then the last question was about, is it really fear? And when he talked about whites, he said, well, white people experience fear differently. When white people experience fear, it makes them respond in a different way because of their experiences. Then when he said black fear, he said it was because of epigenetics, socialization, and that fair enough, you're right. Yeah. Epigenetics, socialization. He gave a list of reasons. He was saying, and because of that, black people experience fear in a way that doesn't propel them. But it was kind of like it was making an inferiority for black people argument ultimately.
Yeah. Funny, Mr. Deskins his comment smashed it for someone just coming into it. Gosh darn professor with them big words talking about me. But I appreciate the respect that they both showed to each other throughout the debate, and how they both just held their positions.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I find that's more of my personal appetite when it comes to debate, to hold your position. And not necessarily feel like, okay, I got to really necessarily be on the defense mode, but I can just say, this is how I see it, and this is how I see it, and stay to that.
So
Mutor is awesome.
I know he's getting upset, but I don't want you to take it the wrong way. But I'm telling you how it sounds to someone else who's trained in this, right? If you say black people have these experiences and because of that, they can't do the things necessary, but white people have these experiences and they can do certain things that are necessary. That is, I know you were attempting to make it, but that's how the argument comes across. But nonetheless, you laid it out. You laid out an excellent argument for black people having a kind of epigenetic condition that doesn't allow them to solve their problems. And I thought you supported it well, but it's an argument that I don't know. When you look at it from the other side, you're like, whoa, that could be problematic. So,
well, at any rate,
he's saying that's not what he said, but maybe I'll listen to the debate again.
Mutor did his thing, especially in the last minute situation, and I greatly appreciate that. So yeah, like you said, he didn't have a lot of time to formulate his debate, and even participate in the definitions. And
exactly.
Definitions are so important.
Exactly, because from a different definition, he might have had his argument constructed more tailored for his own definition.
And I think he would have given his challenger a little bit more, some more problems too.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think, go ahead.
You say it, but I think it was exciting for us to have a good engagement, especially just coming into. We really wanted to be able to bring a debate for February, and not miss that. We as Bruce said, we will have our next debate on March the 4th. So stay tuned for that. That'll be about racial gender versus or racial oppression versus gender oppression.
This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, so that
this is gonna be a crazy one.
So
yeah,
we got 2 returning debaters, and that's a ranked debate also. So that's gonna be interesting. We'll be interested in our new scoring system. But before, let me see, we got another comment.
Yeah. Very problematic. Information like that can be used to fight against ableism and racism or reinforce it depending on how people use it.
Yeah, I understand that. And I don't think that was his. I agree with Mutor. That wasn't his intention. He doesn't, and I'm sure if he goes back and looks at it, he won't think that was how his argument could be received. But I saw that opening. I saw somebody thinking, and I saw it in the comments. People were like, wait a minute, what are you saying? So I know he didn't see it that way. And it may have just been the inability to have the time to carefully craft your argument. But I take nothing away from Mutor. Again, he did an excellent job tonight. I would hate to have to come in and debate, to learn of a debate and provide on the day of. He's writing an opening and closing statement today, and you wouldn't have known that unless we told you. He appeared to be fully prepared.
And not even just today, like literally 2 hours before we actually found out, 2 hours before. So he didn't even have the whole day. It was literally a couple of hours, but nonetheless, as you said, much respect and appreciation for it. Are there any final thoughts or comments for this for GDL 13, our 13th debate that we've put on?
Oh man, go ahead, AJ, you got it.
No, I am absolutely excited about what's about to happen. I think that we're about to do some big things. This is only the beginning, and again, had the two debaters had equal preparation time, this one could have blown up as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's I'm I'm looking forward to our next one, and then our next one, and then our next one. Keep going, this bringing you guys quality broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we as once again too, we appreciate everybody for listening and watching. Please make sure that if you are interested in debating, that you fill out our form that we posted. We don't. We posted a link in our chat in the comments, so you can fill out a form. A lot of people, this is their first time debating, so you can go to our definitely easily our YouTube channel and just see all of our previous debates, the Great Debate League Inc. And you'll be able to get a feel. But we do go through a negotiation process where definitions are agreed to, where the premise is agreed to and set, and then also we provide an outline. And so so even if it is your first time and you may be a little nervous, you can, go ahead and throw your ring in the hat and give this platform a try. So
Yeah.
again, please join us again on Thursday, March the 4th. That's in a couple of weeks. We'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Fun Miliayo Equindeo and Cameron Montgomery, and they will be arguing for us for GDL 14 about gender oppression versus racial oppression. And that'll be a lot of fun. We'll have that up for you as well on our events page, and then a broadcast schedule for that, so you can tune in for that.
Excellent. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited. We got a big year ahead. I was really impressed with the debate tonight. I just want to say that again. Both debaters were excellent. So I only expect this to get better throughout the rest of this season.
And I just want to piggyback off what you were saying about the whole format, Ebony, as far as like how this is a structured debate. It's not just two people getting up there and yelling at each other. Like there's a structure to this, so people can exchange ideas.
Can I say our debates are more professional and scholarly than presidential debates, man?
Oh yeah, and I would agree with that.
Exactly, right? We have real debates here. You're gonna learn something about both sides argument when you get with the debate league.
And if you're thinking no, go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
Just Bruce saying that, which is the heart of the intention for us, and something that I personally support, in that it's not two people arguing per se with each other, but sharing two different perspectives. And so hopefully that will broaden all of our perspectives. Exactly. And that's something that I appreciate about this specific platform, because not only do you can hear somebody and say, okay, I agree with this side, maybe initially to yourself, but the intent is for you to hear a different perspective and maybe enhance the one that you already had.
Right. Right. And if you were thinking about debating and you might be a little bit apprehensive about the whole structure or how to participate, we will help you with that. I will lend myself out there to help people in this process, because it's definitely a fun way to exchange ideas.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. We'll see you back here again on March the 4th. Take care, everybody.